An airport at midnight. Coffee steam, tired faces, the soft shuffle of shoes. A man in a dark suit walks through the gate, buys a one-way ticket, sits alone. He looks ordinary enough to be forgotten. A folded note passes into a flight attendant's hand. A whisper no one else hears. A demand is made with a businessman's calm. Cash, parachutes, and a strange, single request. Leave the rear stairs down. Mid-flight, in the black between cities, the plane becomes a threshold. The aft stair bounces, a silhouette steps into the storm, and then vanishes. Who was he really? A desperate criminal, a clever con, or a ghost in a suit? How do you chase a man who disappears into night with $500,000 and no body, no confessions, only fragments of evidence? What mistakes were made, and what clues were missed? This is the story of that step. The money, the search, the suspects, and the silence that followed. Tonight, we open the briefcase and listen for the echoes. Thanksgiving Eve, 1971, Portland International Airport. A nondescript man in a dark suit, white shirt, black tie with a mother-of-pearl clip, dark sunglasses, buys a one-way ticket on Northwest Orient Flight 305 to Seattle under the name Dan Cooper. He looks about mid-40s. He boards, takes seat 18C, lights a Raleigh cigarette, orders a bourbon and soda, and settles in. In his briefcase, the engine of one of America's great mysteries. Soon after takeoff, he slips a folded note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. She thinks it's a phone number. Then he leans over and whispers, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." He opens the briefcase to show red cylinders and wire, and issues precise, almost bureaucratic demands. $200,000 in negotiable U.S. currency, roughly $1.5 million today. 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. He never raised his voice. He paid his drink tab, tried to tip the crew, and insisted everyone remain calm. To the passengers, the delay seemed a minor mechanical difficulty, but Cooper held a lethal leverage, a bomb, and a dead man's switch, and his plan was unnervingly composed. In Seattle, the ransom and parachutes are delivered. Passengers are released. Cooper keeps 4 crew members hostage. He orders the pilots to fly to Mexico City, but with exacting conditions. Fly low, under 10,000 feet. Fly slow, under 200 knots. Keep the cabin unpressurized, and fly with the Boeing 727's rear aft stairs lowered. Between Seattle and Reno, over rugged Washington, Cooper locks the cockpit. At approximately 8:13 p.m., the pilots feel a slight upward pitch. The aft stairs bounce. He has jumped. He stepped off into a freezing rainstorm, a minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit wind chill, wearing a suit, trench coat, and loafers, into blackness, and vanished. The legend baptized him a super thief. Forensics tell a harsher story. Of the 4 parachutes delivered, the pile included 2 primaries and 2 reserves. Cooper strapped on a non-steerable military chute and, in haste, took a reserve sewn shut, a dummy used for classroom demos. He leapt into zero visibility, over dense firs, in slick shoes. Not a professional skydiver, but a blind gamble. Norjack, the sprawling FBI manhunt, dredged lakes and scoured forests. For years, nothing. Then, in 1980, 8-year-old Brian Ingram, digging at Tina Bar on the Columbia River, found 3 rotting bundles of cash bound with rubber bands. Serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom. The bills were degraded, but not so waterlogged as to prove a decade of free floating. The money was about 20 miles from the calculated drop zone, a clue that deepened the mystery. Over 800 suspects were examined. Copycat Richard McCoy, alleged pilot Robert Rackstraw, smoke jumper Sheridan Peterson among them. A clip-on tie left in 18C produced no DNA match. In 2016, the FBI suspended active investigation. D.B. Cooper, the only unsolved air piracy case in commercial aviation, remains a ghost in a suit. Myth, forensic fragments, and unanswered questions. Did he die in the storm, his body claimed by forest and river? Or did he walk away to a new life? The case status is simple and stubborn: unsolved.